Half a day, FLOSSTUBE. This is Lynette at Homesteading on the Home Front, coming to you for my 5th installment of FLOSSTUBE. The date is Sunday, November 5th, and as you can see, I am not at home. We spent last night here at the Hyatt on Guam celebrating the 242nd birthday of the Marine Corps. So we had the ball last night, and we're enjoying the water park and view this morning. I'm going to move so you can see it. This is the touristy part of Guam. There's a nice little bay and the beautiful ocean, and I thought I would share it with you this morning. So, I have some FFOs, I have some FOs, I have some whips. I just wanted to do a short video to catch up and show you what I've been up to, and then I'm going to join the family down at the pool. So, FFOs. Last week I showed you the 2 designs that I finished from my big toe, and I'm happy to say that they are actually ornaments this week. This one is from this current issue of the Just Cross Stitch magazine, and this one is from last year's issue. And I just finished them off as flat ornaments. I used on the back some red velvet that I've had in my stash. I don't have a lot of Christmas fabric because when I sew, I want to sew things that are going to be used all year round. So I have ordered some Christmas fabric just because I want one Christmas fabric, Christmas ornament bag, not ornament bag, project bag. But velvet and wool are in my stash, and so that's what you're going to find me using most often. The trim around the edge is the beautiful stuff that Donna Ray sent me a few weeks ago, and the ribbon I just had in my stash. I want to thank Bluebird Stitcher. She always says, use what you have. It makes it easier to make decisions, and she's absolutely right about that. So I really like the way they came out. My second FFO is an ornament from August of 2015. It must have been the ornament preview from Just Cross Stitch. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. It is Believe in Christmas of Samplers Not Forgotten. And I didn't like the way the font was on the Believe, so I changed it up. And this is what I came up with. So the colors were really vibrant. Oh, I'm losing some there. The colors were really vibrant, so I kind of toned them down. I should say the colors that I chose were really vibrant. The colors as charted were more prim, and I just wanted something brighter because I had just done my big toe ones, and those were kind of prim colors. So I wanted something brighter. But I wanted the white to pop against the fabric, and so I gave it a bath in walnut, or I painted walnut dye on afterwards, and that kept the white, but made the background a little darker. And again, I just finished the back with red wool, and I found the pins here at the hardware store, actually. Our hardware store on island actually has a very good, I wouldn't say very good, it has the most extensive craft supplies on island, and it's not extensive though. You'll hear more about that later. But I actually found that they had the pearlized pins in the floral section, so I got those. And again, I had the ribbon in my stash. I used what I had. The chenille trim is from Donna Ray again, so I'm pretty pleased with this one. I added the puff ball on Santa's hat, and I'm not sure how it's going to stand the test of time, because I've already pulled out a few strands, but it is what it is. And then I hoped to have another FFO to show you, but I got 90% through and ran out of DMC of that color, and I went back to the hardware store because they do have some DMC colors. They actually have a fair amount of DMC colors, but of course they did not have the one that I needed. So this little snowman is being made into a pillow, and as you can see, I have just a little bit more to finish. So I don't know if I'll pick another color that's close, because really you're not going to be able to tell that much, or if I'll wait until I can get the color I need, but he is almost done. And again, I used some wool on the back from my stash. There's a little story behind this snowman. He has been on my Pinterest board for a while because I really liked him. But as I'm sure you all know, sometimes when you pin things off of Pinterest, it doesn't always lead you back to the site that you want to be on. And so when I clicked on him to go do further research, I found that the website was no longer active. And so I really wanted to do him. And I'm a really good internet stalker. My background is in math, and I've been doing genealogy since I was in high school. So what that means is, if you give me a puzzle or a mystery, I'm good at solving it. And so I really wanted to find this pattern. And finally, I did. It is by the Woolly You Designs, which is a shop on Etsy. It's also the same designer from Sugar Stitches, because when I PayPal'd, it showed up as Sugar Stitches. So I will link below, so that if he is also on your Pinterest board, because he's all over Pinterest, I see him everywhere, and you would like to stitch him, then follow the link below. I already did all the mystery work for you. I did not chart him in the suggested colors. I made a few changes just because I wanted something really prim. But I love the way he came out, and I'm thinking that I'm going to actually have to stitch him again and vary up the colors again, just because I liked stitching him so much. And I really liked the blanket stitch on the edge and even around the side here. I wondered if the stuffing was going to stick out with the blanket stitch, but it's not. It's fine. So I'm really enjoying it. And I should say that doing the blanket stitch is very easy. I stitched this on a, I think it must have been 18 count Aida, which shrunk a little when I dyed it, because this is hand dyed by me. But it made it really easy to evenly space my stitches. So usually I have a problem with that. So that was a happy surprise on this one. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I started and actually finished my first Prairie Schooler design, the chicken. This is all Chelsea's fault. I saw the pattern booklet from the cow that she was stitching, and I knew I had to have it. So I knew I was going to do the chicken first, and then of course there was a horse ornament in that one, so I think the eldest is going to make herself a horse ornament at some point. So I haven't finished this yet. I don't know if I'm going to do the tart pans or make it into an ornament. I figured I'd stitch some of the others first, and then see if I could come up with some sort of inspiration on this one. But this is the Prairie Schooler. And also, one more finish, which is Plenty. This is the Kathy Haberman design, and it matches this one that I had done already. So I think I'm going to finish these up very similar to the way that they're pictured in Just Cross Stitch. I forget what issue they're in. I think it was last year's. One was in the August preview and one was in the actual December, or the actual Christmas ornament issue. So hopefully next week I will have those finished for you. So that's FFOs, we have FOs, and whips. So yesterday I had just finished the Plenty design, and I knew I wanted to take something easy to stitch with me while sitting by the pool. We got here at the hotel yesterday around noon and planned to spend the afternoon swimming and enjoying the pool. But I knew that we had the ball at night, so my rule is I can't get my hair wet. So I will either stitch or read by the pool, and then when it gets too hot, I will jump in but not get my hair wet. And so I wanted something easy that, you know, wouldn't have a lot of colors with it, something easy that would be good to stitch while I'm in a lounge chair. And so I came up with this one right here. It's my first design that I've stitched like this. I think you'd call it like a Quaker design. It is called, ooh, I'm shaking the table, sorry. It is called Simple Hearts by Elizabeth's Needlework Designs. It was from the 2015 Just Cross Stitch Ornament issue. So I'm almost done. Let me put this up here. I just have to finish the green here and here. There is a border that goes with it, but I'm not going to stitch the border because I think it would make it too big to be an ornament. And I don't know yet if it's going to be an ornament or a pillow or what, but I'm really enjoying the way it's coming out. I think it's because it's so geometrical, and it's, you know, transformations and rotations and all those good geometry terms. I'm having a fun time stitching it. And the floss that I'm using was actually stuff that I walnut dyed myself. I experimented using walnut dye to kind of prim up some of the floss that I had that was too bright for me. And what I found was that walnut dye is really good for like grunging up your colors, but it's not going to variegate it at all. There are going to be splotches of brown, but not much variegation. And so I had some red and green that I wanted to use up, and I decided to use the rest of this grungy fabric that this is the same fabric that I used for the Snowman. And I'm really enjoying the way it's coming out. And then before little one went to the pool with her dad this morning, she handed me her cross stitch and said, "Mom, you have to show them my progress." So she actually finished her name. She was stitching on the door up here and ran out of this color. I don't know if she ran out of it or lost it, but so luckily I had some variegated DMC, and I said, well, if you use the darker parts of the variegated DMC, then it's going to match the wording perfectly, and it does. And then it came time to do the border, which was supposed to be in white, and it just wasn't showing up on the fabric. And so we were kind of struggling with what to do with that. And it was actually, she's the one who came up with the idea, and she said, well, Mom, what if I use the lighter part of the variegated thread and use that for the border? And so we thought that was a great idea, and it's turning out great. So she's just got to do the overall border, and she'll be done with this one. And that's all I have as far as is whips. I did work some more on my Nantucket Girl sampler. This is a funny story. I had my needlework group last Monday, And I got to the room where we were meeting and realized that I did not have any needles with me. So I thought of D squared in the story they told about not having any scissors at the retreat that one of them went to. Luckily, a friend of mine came. She wasn't even stitching, she was crocheting that day, but she had some needles in her bag, and so she saved the day for me. Thank you, Pam. So I was able to get a little more done on one of the motifs, but again, nothing worth showing, and I didn't want to bring it to show you anyway because it was a lot to carry. So hopefully I will be able to work on that more, and one of these days when I'm filming from home, I will have something to show you as far as my progress on that one, because we're getting close. What I'm going to work on next, I think, is a Mill Hill kit that I just got in the mail yesterday. It's a Jim Shore Santa holding a chicken, of course. It's a little intimidating to me because I've never worked on the perforated paper. I've never beaded anything. So it's going to take a little getting used to, I think, but we'll plow through because I really, really, really like that Santa holding a chicken. So that's what's on the agenda. I'm sure that won't take me but a couple of days. Maybe I'm being optimistic. I don't know. And then I'm sure I'll have another Christmas ornament that I've kitted up a lot of Christmas ornaments, so they're ready to go when I want to make them. So I do think that from now until Christmas, it's going to be ornaments, unless I really get sick and tired of them. I do have a couple of projects, a couple of larger projects that I'm looking at kitting up, hoping to start the new year. But if I get sick of the ornaments, then I may just go ahead and start them earlier. It's just going to depend on how I feel. So I think that's it. I did want to give a shout out to Ginger Gerald. I think I'm like the last floss tuber that hadn't seen any of his videos, so I binge watched the other day. And I really, really enjoyed his videos. I think if we met in real life, we would be friends just because I like the way he communicates, and I'm enjoying his projects. I also binge watched Kitten Stitches and Jen Stitching Niche. Enjoyed them together and also separately. Jen and I have a lot of similar tastes, I think, and I had to laugh because Teresa was saying how she liked her lopsided projects, and then Jen said she liked her symmetrical, and I said, that's my girl. I need them symmetrical myself. So I'm having a blast continuing to watch FLOSSTUBE. Keep the videos coming, but the pool is calling, so until we meet again, fair winds and following seas.